Welcome! My name is Catherine. In this video, I'm participating in a thread started by a channel called The Vinyl Narrative. And he's asked us to show 5 records we wouldn't want to sell in our collection. And I learned about this thread from Jen's Addiction. Thank you, Jen. I'll leave a link to both of their channels in the description. I based my choices on sentimental reasons and records that are collectible or hard to find. The first record is a band called Graduate. The album title is Acting My Age, and you can see on the cover this is Roland Orzabal and Kurt Smith, who eventually formed Tears for Fears. And this is a UK pressing that was never released in the United States. And I have some notes here. The record was released in the UK, Germany, and Spain, just those countries. And the first single was called Elvis Should Play Ska. It reached number 82 on the UK charts and top 10 in Spain. And the band toured for this album, and they had no support from their record company. They did it all themselves, and they described it as a grueling, difficult tour. And the band disbanded after that. And eventually, they formed Tears for Fears and put out their first album, The Hurting. And I'm a fan of Tears for Fears. My favorite song on here is Have You Ever Had a Day? It's a very catchy new wave song. And I'll leave a link in the description for you to listen to that song. And there's not very many of these records. There were 10,000 released in the UK, and another 10,000 distributed to Spain and Germany. So that's not very many. And I got this from a dealer who travels to Europe and finds records and brings them back to the United States. So I'm happy to have this record, and it would be hard to find it again if I parted with it. Oh, let me show you the record so you can see what it looks like. It's on the Pi label. It's a very clean copy. And this album came out in 1980. Album number 2 is a CD, original CD. It's Talking Heads' Little Creatures. And this came out in 1985, and this is called a Target CD, and I'm going to show this to you. Get it open here. These are what original CDs in the 80s look like. They have that nice ring around the outside. And this one has yellow in the middle. And I have all these records I'm showing you today logged into Discogs on my catalog. This CD sold for $30. It has some value. And I just love these original 80s CDs. I think they're beautiful. And I wouldn't want to part with this because it would be very difficult to find this again. And mine's VG+. I don't play it, it just sits on my shelf. I have a vinyl copy of this, and it would be very hard to find again. Album number 3, another collectible import. I have a German copy of Speaking in Tongues, Talking Heads. And it has this hype sticker here, that gold seal there. And this is a German pressing. I'll show you the record. And it was pretty easy to identify my records with the country by narrowing it down in the barcodes. But you can see on this Sire label it says Germa. I'll hold it up there close. It's that square. Very clean copy. And it has great sound quality. I have this on CD as well. And I do play this record. Again, if I parted with it, it would be hard to find this copy. Number 4. When I was a teenager in the 80s, I bought a lot of records that I liked, and they mean a lot to me. I worked at a fast food restaurant making $3.25 an hour, and I saved money and bought my favorite music. And I'm just going to show one. There's several I wouldn't want to part with because they're originals and I've had them all these years. I'll start at the beginning of the alphabet and show this popular album, Aha, Hunting High and Low. And the video was very wonderful. It had that cartoon character. The girl was reading the newspaper and she went into the comics. And even today that video has endured, and it has 2.2 billion views. And I remember the first time seeing that video, and it was just so magic. It was amazing. And I take good care of my records. I'll show you the record itself on the Warner Brothers label. Very clean. And I'm gonna say this record symbolizes several 80s records that I love that have been with me for 40 years. And if I can, I don't want to part with them. I want to keep these. I call these essential 80s albums or my staples. Number 5 is Sentimental. It's a record that was given to me when I was about 7 years old. It's my first popular album. Like I had Marlo Thomas, Free to Be You and Me, and Disney records. So I call this my first real record. I need a copy of Teaser and the Fire Cat by Cat Stevens. And my favorite song was Moonshadow. I used to visit my aunt and she would let me listen to her records and I just latched onto this. And it was actually marketed to kids because there was a little storybook with illustrations by Cat Stevens, and he painted or drew this picture on the cover. So this is a sentimental record. It has wonderful memories attached to it, and I just have to have a copy of this in my collection. Thank you very much to the Vinyl Narrative. I really enjoyed this tag, and it's a very realistic tag. And to my viewer, thank you for watching. Please leave comments about the records I show in today's video, and have a good rest of your day. Take care.